probably the most significant or common challenge that I run into when I'm speaking to a new client or a potential client is not limitations, is not history or goals or expectations. It always boils down to, gosh, Garrett, I'd love to do that if I just had the time. It's always a scheduling issue. Well, something we attribute to our success for these past 23 years are our unique ways of handling scheduling concerns. So I thought it'd be a great idea for us to cover that with our expert in the corner, our administrative assistant, Arika Leach, talking about scheduling on a quick hit on today's Personal Edge Fitness podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness. Thank you so much for joining us today for this quick hit podcast. Arika's with us today because we're covering her forte of scheduling. So welcome to the show, Arika.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show,
Thank you for having me back.
This is
excited.
This is actually Arika's idea. I thought it was a fantastic podcast, and we'll get into why in just a second. So I want to tell you how to get in touch with the show if you have any questions concerning health, fitness, or wellness, especially dispelling the myths of health, fitness, and wellness, which of course is our subtitle for this show. And always, if you have questions for Ask Katie, which we have a segment coming up, we're going to be doing that podcast in just a couple of weeks because we've had a tremendous response on that. Can't wait till we get to answering those questions. But if you have any questions, contact us at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach out to me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com, which of course is my email address. You can reach out to us at our website, which is personaledgefitness.com, and our Facebook page, which is Personal Edge Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Team PE. Okay, take it away, Arika. I'm going to step off because this is your territory. This is a unique tool that we have that you've run incredibly well. So we're stepping right into your wheelhouse today,
yes,
wouldn't you say?
I think so.
When we finished the podcast, just 2 or 3 weeks ago that we did the podcast, as Arika was walking out of our studio here, she mentioned, we need to talk to people about scheduling. And I'm ashamed that I did not think of that.
Well, here we are, so better late than never.
The reason being is that I've operated under this great way we do scheduling for so long, I forget that it's unique to Personal Edge. Mm-hmm. The biggest reason why this is unique to Personal Edge in the last couple of years is the addition of Arika. So tell me, what are we talking about? Do you ever find times when a client is trying to reschedule or what have you that you're not able to accommodate?
Very rarely. So we have a unique list of unique tools, if you will, of different things that we can utilize as far as scheduling goes, rescheduling client sessions. We have multiple different trainers on staff.
Right.
We have over 70 hours of available training time. Each trainer is doing around 15, sometimes even more sessions per day.
You're right. That's the nuts and bolts of
Right.
it. We're offering 70 hours of training per week, which
Yes.
you're saying. And that equates to right at 14 hours a day of availability. And it's actually more than that because it's 14 hours a day with the myriad of trainers
Right.
that we have
Right.
available. So when we have a client start with us, that's the biggest challenge we see is most common challenge is I don't have time for it. Well,
Yeah.
open 70 hours a week.
I think it's more challenging in the client's mind. They think it's a bigger problem than it ends up being. And
True.
then once we get them started and looking at the schedule and their availability and kind of matching up where it works out, then it's not difficult at all. They'll come to me and say, well, I work at this time and I get off at this time and I live here. And so I don't have time and I don't know where I'm going to fit it in. And so we'll kind of break that down and start working out what time they're leaving, what
Right.
time they're doing this, what time they're doing that, and, kind of all their ins and outs and what's going on outside of work and everything. And then we don't ever have a problem fitting in multiple sessions a week. And we'll finish and say that's it. That wasn't that difficult. We got you and you're set up and let's get started.
Isn't it funny that how many people do you have come up and think, okay, you've never seen a schedule like mine? I mean, this is something that can't be
Everybody.
accommodated. Yeah.
unless except for the retirees,
Right.
which are great because they'll just say, I'm retired anytime, any day,
Right.
whenever, except I want to sleep in, which is,
Understandable.
yeah, that's
but
fine.
that's not the vast majority of our clients. The
No.
vast majority of our clients, I mean, it would be
multiple things.
Exactly. As I say in consults all the time, hey, it'd be great if everybody could say, okay, for the rest of my life, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be there. It's just not possible. It's not feasible. I mean, we have to accommodate their lifestyle. But not only the hours of availability, number of trainers, but those aren't the only tools that we have.
Yes. So another unique tool we have, virtual training.
Right.
So if you're traveling, if you're out of town, if you're sick, you can train at home. You don't have to have any equipment. If you do have equipment, great. The staff here, they're highly qualified to train with whatever you have or don't have at home. So that's super helpful. Zoom, laptop, iPhone, FaceTime.
Even Facebook Portal. We have a client that does Facebook Portal also.
Okay.
And speaking from the training side of that, the majority of our virtual clients don't have equipment at home. And we've been working with several of them for years and don't have equipment at home. It doesn't hinder us at all. But when we're talking about virtual clients and that being a possibility, tell us a little bit about the different ways different people have done training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, you've got...
So you can kind of customize it. You can kind of almost think of it as like build your own schedule type thing, like if you were at a restaurant. So you could come in person one day, do virtual another day if you're traveling this day. We've also have a location across the bay in Daphne. So we have some clients that do, one session across the bay with Josh.
Right.
They do their other session over here in Mobile. We have clients that live across the bay but work out over here, either to or from on their way to work,
Right.
or vice versa. They live over here but they work across the bay, so they go back and forth. It's
Right.
super easy.
We've even had clients that were doing virtual and they were in one facility and training with the facility, training from another facility.
Yeah, absolutely. We have iPads here. So this is what I do on Thursdays. I'm in the Mobile facility, but I'm training virtually with Josh,
Right.
who's across the bay.
Right.
But I'm using the Mobile facility.
True.
So that's also an option.
Well, in traveling, that's something that many of our clients do, whether it's for vacation, for business. All of us do. I mean, this has got to fit your lifestyle. When I'm sitting there doing a consult or talking to somebody about there and they say scheduling is a difficulty, that's what they're talking about. I've got a lifestyle, my work life, my home life, what have you, that's going to pull me in all kinds of different directions. And this is where we're talking about accommodating. It's not just the Eastern Shore Mobile. I mean, it's where on the planet can we not train a person?
There's no limit.
I guess as long as they have an internet connection, there's no limit whatsoever.
Yeah.
So my favorite story about that, I'm sorry, I'm stealing your thunder.
It's okay.
My favorite story about that, we trained a client, and I think she holds the record because she worked out in Mobile, and then she worked out in Gulf Shores, and then she worked out in Houston, and she worked out in New York. This was all in 1 week and all working with us. That's the record. So
It's amazing.
how long does it take to, let's say somebody's got to make a change. I'm making it up. They've got a 9 o'clock on Monday, and they realize, that day, they realize the day before, wow, I've got to change. And not only do they have to change times or days, but they've got to change trainers, and they also possibly have to change venues. How fast can we do that?
Super fast. It's super easy. I mean, between scheduling, I have an app, I can hop on and look at availability, see what we can move around. I mean, as long as you have my phone number, and
Right.
if I don't answer right away, I usually will get back to you as soon as possible.
Right.
It's 2023. I've got my phone on me most of the time, and it's no problem. It's super easy. And
how many times have we had that their session's coming up? It's 8:45 and they've got a 9 o'clock session, and all of a sudden they have to change locations, venues, or whatever.
that close to time is not too often.
Can we handle it, though?
Yeah, it does happen sometimes. I mean, life happens. We have car problems, we have emergencies, we have family members, school events, all kinds of things that pop up at the last minute that are unexpected. But the great thing about Personal Edge is, and my position specifically, is you just contact me, and wherever I am, if I'm in the facility or out or off or at home or wherever I am, I can look in and check out the schedule and move as we need to. The more willing you are to step out of your comfort zone and maybe get an earlier in the morning session than you would prefer, or after work, or even we have a lot of clients that come on their lunch break, which is great. So yeah, the more willing you are to change times and days, then the easier it'll be.
You brought up something good there that I don't think we discuss enough, and that is the people getting ready for work, getting ready for the day, or needing to change clothes, take a shower, and what have you. We've got 4 cabana-style bathrooms. They're all unisex, one person at a time. Go in, lock the door, hang your stuff up in there. Showers in every one of them. We've got 2 handicap showers on top of that. Towels,
everything you need to get ready. You can pack a bag and just do your workout and get ready here and head to work. And
not a problem. We have a lot of
no
clients
problem,
that
no
do that,
excuse.
So the tools at hand. Okay, we've got 70 hours a week of training, which breaks down to 14 hours a day, Monday through Friday, that we're training. We've got the 2 locations. We've also got virtual, which we've talked about. We're going to talk a little more about that because we have a lot of that coming up this coming week. But one other that we're not thinking about, and that is home training.
Yes, of course, home training. So we can have one of our trainers come to your house and train you in your home gym or in your living room, wherever you are, whatever you have, whatever you don't have, we got you.
And the neat thing about that, I find about that is, I'm not going to mention a name, but my 9 o'clock on Tuesday, that's a home client that does hybrid. And we have a lot of hybrid clients.
We have a handful of people that do. Some of their sessions are regularly in person. I think one of our clients, so he has one session here.
Right.
One session with Josh.
Right.
One home session.
Right.
Virtual. I think he might do all of them. Or
I think he's in all the state. Well, there's one.
Every list for us.
We have one that does in-home session and does virtual also. What I was talking about, my Tuesday client, that's a home client, but also does hybrid because she actually comes into the facility. And this is what I was talking about, how fast we can make these changes. And that's what's great about having Arika on staff, is that there's been an occasion there where it's a last minute, hey, I can't come down there today, and boom, we changed gears. We went straight up there.
Yep.
We didn't miss the session. And how many times we've had people stuck somewhere, can't get here, and had to switch within 15 or 20 minutes, had to switch from in-person to online to virtual. And I love the fact that we have that flexibility.
Yep, exactly. It's pretty fluid, so it's easy, and I promise it's a lot easier than you probably think it is in your head. And it's funny because we'll have some clients come up to the desk and say, I'm so sorry, I have to reschedule. I've had something come up. But please do not apologize.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's not a problem. That's literally what I'm here for. And if you watched my podcast a couple weeks ago where I explained, I love working here, and the more schedule changes you have, the more valuable my position becomes, which is good for me.
Now I know why you came at the podcast, a direct solicitation for job insurance.
Yes.
I love that. So. Well, you were saying a minute ago about making the changes, and that's true. We have clients that are so apologetic when they have to make a change.
Don't be.
No, not at all. I mean, that's part of our success, because I can't find an excuse for a client to ever miss a session.
Right.
We've even had people that had to isolate at home for COVID that didn't miss their sessions.
Right.
So we just
call me up and say, hey, I've been exposed. I'm going to stay home. Let so-and-so know that I'm going to be virtual today. And then I'll come upstairs and, hey, Charlie, your 10 o'clock client is going to be online today.
Exactly.
Okay, no problem.
Right. Switching gears is not a problem. Now, I will say with the one schedule changes that do get kind of challenging is calling late into your session because you overslept and you want to reschedule over and over again. I'm not so sure we want that, but I don't think that's as big a problem.
Set an extra alarm.
Exactly. So, but there's something else that we're not talking as much about. When I was first starting out, I was a one-man band. In 1996, I went from 6 clients to 42 and kind of never looked back. And I was the only one training. And I was the only trainer for my clients or whatever. And I enjoyed working with them, but it wasn't that. It's just that they were missing out on so much by being exposed to other trainers. And even though it's a sense of pride, I'm so busy, I can't take a session, not very good for a client, that needs to make a change.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we have at our disposal is not only the multitude of trainers, but the system that we use. Which clients don't train with more than one trainer? Exactly.
We don't have any.
Exactly. The multi-train system.
Yeah.
That's another tool that you have in your toolbox as far as being able to match up. Got to cancel with my 9 o'clock with Gary. Okay, fantastic. How about 2 o'clock with Katie? There's another little piece to that also, and that is your relationship with all of our clients.
Yes.
I mean, we have one person that knows all the clients, and that's Arika. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's interesting to me. The way you contact people and what have you.
Yeah. In my position, scheduling all the different sessions, I get to know know all of you guys and all of the clients, from even though I'm not here at 5 a.m. I know our 5 a.m. clients and I still talk to them all the time. Since I know most of our clients, work schedules and kind of a little bit about what their home life is like and kids and what they have going on outside of work and outside of family. I kind of have a short list that I can refer to if I have an opening if somebody cancels and I have an opening. I know that so-and-so likes to work out at this time, so I'll give them a call or a text and say, hey, we just had 4:30 open up. Do you want to come in and get an extra session in?
Right.
And it's great.
That's
another way that we can, reach our 14, 15, 16 sessions a day and make sure that we're, keeping
everybody busy.
Yep.
And not missing sessions. But not only that, you keep up with the different clients' preferences too. I mean, not just on time, but we have all of our trainers are qualified to work with every single client that comes in here. But we have, it's like I say in a consult, sometimes people mix like oil and water. There are people here at Personal Edge that I'm great friends with that I'll never train. They're not a good fit for me.
Right.
But those.
Exactly. And it's really a fun part of my job. It's another piece of the puzzle. If I know that a client is rescheduling and let's say Hunter has an availability and I know that this client likes working out, doing Hunter's workouts because he's pushing them to do maybe heavier weights.
Sure.
Or if Charlie ends up with an opening, clients love Charlie's workouts as well. As a team, everybody brings something different to the table.
Sure.
Which is really great when you apply that to your workout schedule because you don't just want to do the same workout and the same muscle workout for all of your sessions.
Exactly.
Then you'd get off balance.
Well, and that's what we talk about all the time about multi-training, the fact that since we have the most qualified staff in the Southeast, I've always said that most likely we have the best trainer in the Southeast on staff, but nobody is as good as our team.
Right.
And that variety has a lot to do with that. But you also have not just the workout preferences. We had kind of a scheduling, snafu last week that we had to deal with. And we looked at, I'm going to mention her first name, mentioned Jean. And we found out that Jean was going to get to work with Hunter.
Yeah.
And we were, well, that's fantastic.
I'm so excited to tell her that.
Yeah, because she'd missed work with Hunter and worked with Hunter in the past and hadn't had a chance to work with him. And a scheduling situation on our end actually turned out wonderful because she got to work out with a trainer that she loves to work with. Yeah. But the hours that we're available, how much we're available, how many trainers we have available during those hours, the at home, the 2 locations, the virtual, and the multitude of trainers to be able to train our clients being comfortable working with other trainers because they know everybody here. They've worked with everybody here.
Like a family here.
Yeah, exactly. That is the unique gift we have as far as scheduling.
Definitely.
And not until you brought it up about talking about this podcast did I even think about doing a podcast about this because it's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's never been a problem. I thought, oh, yeah, well, I know a lot of other places it was. When I wasn't training at Personal Edge, and when I did have to do it that way, it was a problem. And now with Arika, we've more than solved it. And please, we don't have an 800 number for this, but please support Arika's job. Call and make those changes when you need to make those changes.
Keep those schedule changes coming. Definitely.
Exactly. Did we leave anything out? She's got notes and I got notes. Want to make sure we cover.
I don't think so. Yeah. Give me all the schedule changes.
I want to make sure we covered all of it.
We've got a big bucket of ways that we can accommodate your lifestyle and supporting you on your fitness journey and your health and wellness journey. So don't be afraid to utilize those.
Absolutely. Well, as I've said many times, our goal is to make you feel better about being yourself. And yes, the physical is important, but we've always said that the mental side of this, it accommodating you is the success of personal training. And scheduling has a lot to do with that, whether or not it's going to fit in your lifestyle. We've said for many years, difficult schedules are our forte, and we have an arsenal of tools to help you make this fit into your lifestyle and help you, reach your level of wellness. So thank you so much for joining me today, Arika.
Thank you for
having me. I actually appreciate the idea on this podcast. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach me at Garrett@personaledgefitness.com. Of course, that's our website and Facebook page. Hit me up on Twitter at TeamPE, and you can call here at 251-341-0927 to get scheduled with Arika. I promise you, she can get you in. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251 888-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.